What if I told you you can build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? It's exactly what we're doing. Listen, let me make sure I get Instagram live really quick. Come on, Insty. Here we go. Click live, and we're in that thing. We're in that thing. We're in that thing. We here. Listen, what if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Half the time I don't believe myself, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public, right? This is going to be real time entrepreneurship in person. What are we doing each and every day? We're building a foundation. I'm taking you behind the scenes basically to show you how we're building these things out, right? And your support and collaboration is making all the difference. So today we're on episode 18. 18, we in that thing. 18 different times where my voice has been shared, and I've been sharing these 30-minute segments, right? So there's a lot of dope content and insight within those other 17. And listen, if you're just now joining, thank you and welcome. In fact, let me go ahead and drop that chat in the thank people for joining. Let me see. Let me see. Can I do that on TikTok too? Welcome and thank you for joining. Okay, let me make sure I send that in there. So that's gonna go on TikTok. Bam. All right, there we go. We in that thing. Listen, I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social media. Um, Army veteran, former healthcare technology executive, turned entrepreneur a few years ago. And what I've been doing, I've really been privately studying like what's been really working on social media, right? And so far, I've established a following across many different various channels. Now, what am I doing this year? I'm doing something different. I used to lead with a lot of motivation. This year, I'm giving you the playbook. I'm technically showing you the strategies that we're implementing to grow $1 million business and grow a brand as well as visibility, all within 12 months. So I thank you for joining. I want you to do a couple of things with me. All right. One, well, I'm building a $1 million business, and it's going to be through my newsletter. All right. And my newsletter, I need you to subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't already. We're reaching 50,000 subscribers this year. Right now, we're a little shy of 6,000, and we've only kicked this thing off, since the beginning of the year. And then the other thing too is we're going to grow this thing to $1 million. And what this is designed to do is to show you exactly the tools, the systems, the playbooks, the conversations that are taking place. But before we can even get there, we need to build a foundation. So when we kick this thing off on January the 11th, everything we've been doing since then is building a foundation, because we cannot grow to $1 million without having the right foundation in place, right? So episode 18, what is today about? Today is about empowering beliefs that drive action. A lot of times, the things that prevent us from getting to $1 million is our own personal beliefs, right? So what I'm going to share today is going to be the beliefs that I know that's going to drive action for you and I, that's going to help us get to that $1 million. As always, the chat boxes are wide open. Today, we're streaming across LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, as well as YouTube. What I would appreciate if you can drop your first name, what platform you're dropping from. That'd be dope. I would say hi and thank you as always. But listen, you guys have been showing me love, so I'm trying to give it back to you. So I appreciate it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. What if I told you can build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me if I told you it's possible? That's exactly what we're doing. I'm taking you behind the scenes. We're building this baby out, and this is episode 18. So if you missed the previous 17, two ways you can get there. One, you can go to the link in my bio. You can go down to my YouTube feed. And then I created a playlist called Building $1 Million Business. Or you can go to the link in the bio, and you go to my LinkedIn page. And underneath the events tab, there's going to be these there's going to be these lives, the previous lives that I have as well. You can view those. So my only call to action there is, we know social media content disappears over, after a period of time. So make sure you tap in with that ASAP. Watch those before they disappear, because I think it's going to be helpful for you, especially if you're just now joining and you're trying to get caught up in the game right here. So today is about the empowering beliefs that drive action. Okay, let's upgrade the stakes. Let's upgrade the stakes. I want to upgrade the stakes really quick. Okay, beliefs control behavior more than knowledge. Did he say it? Yes, I did. Let that sink in. Beliefs control behavior more than knowledge. I want to share a few angles with you really quick. Something to make you think as we're building out our $1 million business. Two people can hear the same strategy, right? But they get opposite results because their beliefs filter their execution. Think about that. Two people can hear the same strategy and get opposite results because their beliefs filter execution. The other one is most people, they don't fail from lack of information, right? They fail from internal resistance. Where's that internal resistance? Well, that's internal. Like we always resenting what's going to work, or we resent somebody else's path and we believe for whatever reason we can't do it that way. So that's another reason why people fail. The other thing too is strategy. It tells you what to do, but beliefs determine if you can actually do it consistently, right? So a lot of times people will slide in my DM. They say, "Hey Pat, you mind if you coach me doing this? Can you coach me doing that?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't mind as long as you're mentally locked in and ready for the work that needs to be done." And that's what needs to happen a lot of times. Some people they want the award, the rewards, the accolades, they want the income, they want all that, but they don't want the work. You have to do the work in order to make that $1,000,000, right? And so that's what we're doing. We're going to do the work to make that $1,000,000. Here's the other thing too. If your identity it doesn't match your goals, you'll sabotage your goals each and every time. So meaning you can't put on a front in public and then you're somebody totally different behind the scenes. Now, if anybody knows me, how I present myself is exactly how I am. I'm that likable, go-to, enthusiastic person every single day because that's me. I just have a positive mindset. I'm that glass is half full versus a half empty guy, right? And so that's how I impact and affect people as well. So here's my big takeaway, right? You don't rise to your strategy. You fail to your identity. This is where a lot of people get stuck. So I want to drop this with you. Today isn't about motivation. It's about an operating system replacement. What's the operating system? We're the operating system. We're not replacing ourselves. We're replacing our mindsets, and we're adopting the two techniques and strategies to help us get to $1,000,000 here in 2026. Remember, the chat boxes are open. Thank you, TikTok family, for joining. I see you. Insty, man, listen, Insty has been showing up. They're trying to compete with TikTok. And then my LinkedIn family is always showing me love. YouTube, listen, you guys you've been amping up. Like, I think you're going to be like a distant fourth right now, but I'm liking the vibe that I'm feeling right now. So hear me out. You ever hear someone say that they create their own opportunities, right? Maybe you told yourself that you create your own opportunities, which is dope. I believe that. There's two type of opportunities out there, right? Or there's two type of people that lean into these opportunities. There's the opportunity creators, and then there's the opportunity waiters. I'm going to share both with you, and you can decide who you are, and then that can help you determine some of the shortcomings you may have, so we can get into whatever box is going to make sense for you. So if you're an opportunity creator, this is what they generally do. They'll wake up, they'll send 5 DMs before breakfast. A DM, if you never heard that, just a direct message. Opportunity creators do this, right? We're building $1,000,000 business. So before breakfast, they've already sent out 5 DMs. The other thing they do is they comment intentionally, not casually, meaning you have intent when you have your comments. We're not just commenting a comment. Like there's some intention about it. Like there's a thoughtful post, there's a thoughtful response. That's going to help you when it comes to building your business. You'll be like, man, I thought we was building a business. All this comes with building a business because oftentimes you're not just doing it just from a marketing activity. It's through visibility, it's through content, it's through amplifying your brand visibility and awareness, right? So this is what a lot of dope people that have created their $1,000,000 business, this is what they're doing, okay? I want to share that with somebody popped in. Okay, I see you. Rob Dunn, ATX YouTube. Thanks for tapping in, family. The other thing too is this is what opportunity creators do, okay? If you're an opportunity creator, you're going to find yourself doing this. They're going to turn conversations into collaborations. So we don't just have conversations to have conversations. We have a conversation with the intent, how can I collaborate with this person that commented with me? And then opportunity creators, what else do? They follow up after conversations, meaning this is where 90% of the deals actually happen. It's going to happen in the DMs. It's going to happen in those conversations you have as you exchange information with the person that you're looking to build business with, okay? So you want to follow up. 90% of that business is happening right there. But if you do it intentionally, then you're not selling anything. You're offering a solution, and we'll get into that. The other thing two opportunity creators do, they pitch before they're ready. Why? They don't have to be perfect. They know they don't have to be perfect, but let me see how it lands. And then if it lands accordingly, I can move forward. If it doesn't land the right way, guess what? There's some simple tweaking that I can do that's going to help me with the next message that I send out there. So you want to pitch before you're ready. And then the other thing that opportunity creators do is they publish before they feel confident. A lot of people that I work with, they're the other way around. They wait till they feel confident before they put themselves out there. They wait till they feel confident before they create their business. They wait till they feel confident before they share their aspirations with their friends and families or their coworkers or their employers. Why are we waiting? Like, time is not waiting for, so it's time to get it. Let's get it in. Let's get it busy. So this is what we're doing. That's what opportunity creators do. Now let's talk about the opportunity waiters. Hopefully you're not here, but if you are, you find yourself being an opportunity waiter, then identify who you are, and then let's change that going forward. Okay, my feeds are starting to blow up right now. Instagram is popping. I love it. TikTok is popping in as well. Thank you. And then LinkedIn is popping in as well. Okay, perfect. Let's get into this. So we just went over what is an opportunity creator. Now let's talk about what's an opportunity waiter. Everybody's tapping in and be like, well, Patrick, I thought we was building $1 million. We are, but you got to start with a foundation. And some of that foundation starts with mental and that baseline. Our tools, our systems, our automations, all that have to be in place. But mentally, we already have to believe that we're going to hit $1 million this year. Okay. So that's where we're at. We're only, 30 days into this thing. So this is going to be great. What is an opportunity waiter? Opportunity waiters, if this is you, what they often do is they refresh notification, meaning they're living on social media and they're constantly refreshing their browser, hoping that something positive is going to come their way. Like they're going to get noticed or people's going to slide in their DMs and then something is going to happen for them. Those are opportunity waiters. They also hope that their content goes viral. We're still talking about business owners because as a business owner, a side hustler, mid-level professional, you're putting content out there because visibility creates opportunity. We know that much. And then if I can share with you what my business is doing, it can be the differentiator from everybody else, right? However, opportunity waiters, they hoping every single time they post something, it's going to go viral. Listen, you're not a business owner then. You're trying to be a content creator. And I get that. If that's what you want to do, be that. But we're not trying to go viral. Wait. And then they wait to be invited to something. The other thing too is opportunity waiters, they assume people are too busy. This is what prevents them from selling anything. They give themselves excuses before the excuses even heard. Oh, well, they're not ready to buy yet, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna slide in their DM, or they're too close to my niche solutions that I offer. So I'm not gonna slide in their DM, or their fallings are bigger than mine. So I know that they can't benefit from my services. Like, we're always giving ourselves these excuses why we can't sell anything. That's an opportunity waiter. So ask yourself, are you an opportunity creator or an opportunity waiter? Listen, if this went over your head or you need this on replay, it's going to be in my YouTube section in the link, in my link, or it's going to be under LinkedIn. The other thing too is we had 2 goals this year: build $1 million newsletter and grow it to 50,000 subscribers. Right now, we're a little less than 6,000 across LinkedIn and the offline version. And so if you haven't subscribed to that yet, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to that ASAP. Let's get into it. So here's a mental shift that I want to share with you. We're growing $1 million business. Opportunity is not an event. It's a volume game. A lot of people miss that. They think if I do one thing, then it's going to lead to my $1 million. It's going to lead to me selling this product or this solution or this, playbook or whatever. And listen, it's not one time. Opportunity is not an event. It's a volume game. So what we want volume. The more volume, that means the more opportunities that people can see what we have to do, and then they can explore what we have to offer as well. The more doors that you knock on, the less rejection hurts, because it's just simple math. Math replaces emotion. A lot of people get tied up into the emotion of what building a business is like. And I get it. It's an emotional journey. I'm an entrepreneur just like you. But we need to play a numbers game, and we need to get out of the mental that's going to prevent us from moving forward and being successful. It's a math game. Let the math do the talking, and then take your emotions out of it. Now, once we get to that, man, we can get to make some real impact and some positive momentum in our business. Again, thank you guys for joining me. And this is not over, but I'm just thanking you guys because we're streaming on Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Drop your first name, where you're from. I'll just say hi and thank you for joining as well. So here's my mini framework. Everybody loves framework, and I love giving frameworks. So what's the mini framework? You need to understand this right here. Visibility leads to conversations. Conversations lead to trust. Trust leads to opportunities. Opportunities leads to revenue. Boom. Man, mic drop. I can be done right now. Like, really, real talk. I can be done right now. I got so much more I'm going to share with you, but that's the framework. You want to hear it again? Okay. Visibility leads to conversations. Okay. This is why we want to be visible. Conversations lead to trust. Trust leads to opportunities. Opportunities leads to revenue. That's what we're trying to get. If we're building $1 million business, you're building out your $1 million playbook. You want to follow that as well. Visibility, conversations, trust, opportunity, and revenue. Here's the key point I want to leave you with on this one. You don't need confidence first. A lot of people believe that. We don't need confidence first. What you need is you need action, because action produces confidence. A lot of people want to say, well, I'm fearful of this, I'm fearful of that. How do I tackle fear? The only way to tackle fear is action. That's the only way to tackle fear. It's momentum. You actually have to do something, and then that's when fear dissipates and disappears. Otherwise, you're going to stay stagnant. You're going to do nothing at all, and fear is going to stay present and actively involved in your life, and it's going to prevent you from moving forward. So if you want to break fear, you want to start action, okay? We don't need confidence. You just need action. Put yourself out there. We're building $1 million business. If you want to get to $1 million, at some point, you're going to need to put yourself out there. So I'm going to share this with you as well. Thank you, TikTok family. I see you. Okay, something. I can't listen. I appreciate you, seed sowing sister. Hey, I appreciate the love. Thank you. Hey, listen. The next section right here is your visibility is your competitive edge. I want to help you understand that. Visibility reduces risk. People, they don't buy the best from the best. They do, like, normally there's a low end product, there's a high end product. Very few people buy that high end product because they have the check-ins and the savings to make it work. The bulk of people buy right there at the middle of the road, right? So what does that mean for you as a business owner? You don't have to be the best at what you do, nor do you have to be the lowest or the highest price. You could just be good at what you do. And people, they buy who they're familiar with, and you're the trusted option, okay? So you want to be visible, because visibility creates trust, and then that trust where mentally makes people think that you're that trusted option. So here's my thought on this really quick. Visibility shortens trust cycle. The more visible you are, it leads people to believe that you're trustworthy. And then 2, repetition beats brilliance. We want to be repetitive. We don't have to be super smart. We just got to be repetitive at what we do. It's kind of like me. I'm building $1 million business. I'm doing it daily, every single day, 12, to 12:30, noon Central Standard Time. I'm doing this to hold myself accountable, but to also share with you, hey, I'm a trusted resource. I've been doing this, right? I'm not a fly-by-night individual. We're on episode 18 already, 30-minute segments. I'm pouring time into this, and we still got the rest of the year. We're only in month 2, so there's a lot to go. And then here's the other thing, too, you should know. If you have average knowledge plus high visibility equals authority. If you got average knowledge, but you got high visibility, then people view you as authority figure in that space. However, on the flip side of that, if you have expertise, but you're invisible, you know what that equals? Unemployment. Let me take a sip to that one. Golly, did he just say that? Yes, I say that. I got to take a sip. Expertise plus invisibility equals unemployment. Average knowledge plus high visibility equals authority. So stick that feather in your cap. Let's work with that. Let me break down the visibility layers, because there's layers of visibility, and you need to identify and understand where you are so we can get better and build your $1 million business. Here's level 1. Level 1 is you're seen. Level 2 is you're recognized. Level 3 is you're remembered. And then level 4 is you're recommended. So they're seen, recognized, remembered, and recommended. Most creators, small business owners, entrepreneurs, they stop at just being seen, which is cool if that's all you want, but you're not going to build your $1 million business just being seen. The money lives at being recommended. Oh, he dropped the money line. The money lives at where you're recommended, okay? So here's the value add that I have for you. Consistency beats quality early on. You're consistent, it's going to be quality. And then quality is going to be consistency later on. All right. This is going to hit you somewhere when you start creating your own business. So in the early phase of your business, what's happening is we're all about volume. We're all about visibility. We're all about, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're putting it out there. And then once you get into the later phases of building your business, then we get into the refinement stage. We want to refine our messaging and exactly who we're speaking to. Once we start refining, man, things happen. So know this. You're not over posting. If you're posting to drive visibility for your business, get out of the mindset that I'm over posting, because that's not the case. What you are doing is you're under familiar. So that means people don't really understand who you are, what you're about, or what you have to offer. So that means there's an opportunity for us to get really, really clear on what we do and the outcomes that we generate. So value creation leads to revenue. Okay, let's talk about this. Here's the difference between value and noise. You need to understand this. We're building $1 million business. Content that doesn't convert, there's a number of different reasons why it doesn't convert. One is going to be you lead heavily with your own personal opinion. You have vague motivations. You give generic tips. Content that does convert, what I've been seeing that converts is you have clear decisions. You offer frameworks, and then you talk about the mistakes that have happened to you or other people as well. And then you also have a contrarian quality or clarity about the content that you're putting out there, meaning you're not always agreeing with people, but you have something to say on the topic, and it may be different from the masses. Okay, this is the type of content that's been blowing up as of lately. This is what helps you to get more visible for your business as well. The other thing too, how does this impact your business? A lot of people, okay, well, how does this impact my business, Pat? Talk to me. Revenue is stored in trust. Okay, revenue is going to come from that trust. Every helpful post, you need to understand this. Every helpful post that you put out there is a deposit. Every helpful conversation that you have is interest. Okay, we got deposits, we have interest. You know what sales is? Sales is the withdrawal of a combination of both of those. So sales is the withdrawal that you get from the trust and the deposits. Here's the thing. If withdrawals exceeds deposits, then your audience resists your messages and or your offering. So what do you mean, Pat? It means if you're selling more than you're depositing, then sales will fall off. Everybody can get lucky in the beginning. You may get tons of early on sales, but generally speaking, they're going to fall off if you're not depositing more than what you're selling. Meaning you're putting out good content, you're creating good PDFs, you're creating good tools, you're adding tons of value, right? And you're giving it to people. You're giving people the value, kind of like what I'm doing now with these lives. I'm giving you the value so you can understand what you should be doing. And so once we get to that part where I start asking people to, make a buying decision, well, the trust has already been established because here we are, we're at episode 18, putting out tons of content. So we got tons of hours in this, and we're going to create a playbook off of this as well. I want you to reframe selling, okay? Because a lot of people get stuck as a small business owner, entrepreneur, whatever. You get stuck because you don't want to sell. We get in our head, man, I don't want to come off as sleazy. I don't want to come off as pushy. I don't want to come off as undervalued, whatever. So this is how you reframe selling. Selling isn't convincing. You're not trying to convince anybody to buy your product, okay? Let's reframe that. What you are doing is you're reliving uncertainty. You're relieving uncertainty. Okay. So this is the difference from sales. You're not convincing, you're relieving uncertainty with your products, solutions, offers, whatever. You're relieving the uncertainty that they have today with their own personal business, their own personal journey. So that's what you want to get at right there. Okay. Here's the power line. I'm going to drop this right here. If people don't buy, it's rarely because of price. Generally speaking, it's because you have an unclear outcome of what they're going to get for the price. This is where you want to be extra clear on what you do, what you offer, the outcomes they're going to receive, and it has to match the price that you put out there for yourself. Remember, the chat boxes are open. We're streaming today on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Facebook. Drop your first name, where you're streaming from. Eventually, we're going to get into the ad section of this, where we start investing real dollars and cents from a marketing standpoint into some of these social media sites. And we need to determine where we're going to have the biggest bang for our buck, right? And so that's why I'm streaming across all my channels, even though I don't expect to get business from all my channels. That's not the case. What I'm doing today is creating visibility for myself, because that visibility, we talked about, it leads to conversations, it leads to trust, that leads to revenue. That's what we want to get to eventually when we're getting to that $1 million. So as of today, as we're looking at this, we kicked this thing off January the 11th. So technically we're about 25 days, whatever, however many days we've been kicking this thing off. And you know what I've made right now? I've made personally like $2.06. Why am I sharing this with you? Because we're building this business out. I'm building the foundation first. Am I concerned that so far in my business, I've only made $2? No, I'm not. Because what I'm trying to do right now is set the platform to bring on the automations, the tools, the systems that we need to help us get to where we need to be. Here's the other thing, though. I've created a lot of visibility for myself. Tons. I probably had, since I kicked this thing off, I probably had over 600 DMs. This is real talk. Over 600 DMs. I've had over 1,700 people just on LinkedIn. Over 1,700 people just on LinkedIn view my profile, I've grown my newsletter already from 0 to we're a little less than 6,000. I haven't asked for anybody to do anything other than you can pick up my ebook, right? You can if you go to the newsletter, you can get my ebook. It's $4.99. Basically, it's the framework for everything that I'm talking about right now. I've written that 2 years ago. You definitely want to pick that up if you haven't already, because that's the clear playbook. And then you're going to find more information and tools on the website as well. So the other thing too is what's happened already within the first, we'll say 25 days. I've had over 4 advertisers hit me up that wants to run ads in my newsletter already. What have I done? Am I selling anything? No, I'm just sharing you valuable tips, tools, and insights. And now I got advertisers sliding into my DM saying, hey, we would like to be featured in your upcoming newsletter. You do all that just from putting yourself out there. Like, that's possible. Okay. So I want to share that with you. And right now, we haven't even got into the, what are we going to sell? The toolkit, the courses, the coaching models, the subscriptions. We haven't even gotten into that. We're still building the foundation. But because of what we've been doing already, over 1,700 people within 30 days have viewed my profile. Over, 500-600 DMs already. And I got advertisers sliding in my inbox wanting to partner with me in my newsletter. So if you haven't signed up with the newsletter, do that. I'm always giving you dope insight and content that's going to be helpful for you on your journey. Whether you're mid-level professional, small business owner, or entrepreneur, you definitely want to tap into that as well. I see your Cash App. Hey, Cash App me. Send me a Cash App. Come on, do that. So my last talking point right here. I wouldn't say it's my last one because I got a few minutes. So here's the difference how I'm building out my $1 million business. So you can follow this playbook as well. I'm building a movement, not just a business. They go hand in hand though. Okay. So here's what the movement creates. The movement creates the retention, the referrals, and defense. What do I mean by defense? People defend you in your comments. If you get really good at creating a movement, then your followers begin to defend you when somebody pops in there and they just, they're talking from the side of their neck. And you're like, man, you don't even follow this guy. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You start getting defense when you create a movement. The other thing too is you get organic distribution, meaning people have been sharing my information. And then once you get visible and you create a movement, people share your information as well. That's where you get that organic growth. That's what every business would love to have, some of that organic growth. Businesses right now, they rely on marketing. Movements, they rely on a belief alignment. Okay. What's the belief alignment? Just so you can understand. Customers, this is when customers, they start buying your products, and then people join missions. So if I created a mission, say, hey, this week's mission, we're going to do this. People are actively involved in that mission. That's how you know you've created a movement. Okay. I want to add this before we get out of here really quick. If people feel like they're part of your story, then guess what they do? They promote your story. It's factual. If you make people feel like they're part of the story, then in fact, you know what? Listen, while we're talking about promoting the story, each and every Monday through Friday at noon Central Standard Time, I'm having this. So I'll invite you to share this with other people. Tomorrow, we're going to be here at the same time. Tell them to come in. And then if they miss the other 17, you can go to the link in the bio. You can go to my YouTube page. You can go to the Building a $1 Million Company, a Building a $1 Million Business playlist, or go to my LinkedIn page. And you can see that underneath my events tab as well. You can watch the other previous 18. So here's a layer I want to lay on top before I leave you guys with it. When people see themselves in your journey, they don't just consume information from you. Like, they race for it. They can't wait for it. The other thing is they begin to root for you. Like, you become some type of hero in their story, because now they can see themselves through your actions, right? So people root for you. And then people support what they feel attached to. So these have been growing for me each and every time, because there's so many dope individuals that are looking to better themselves, looking to grow something, looking to build something from scratch, looking to enhance themselves, looking to build up their business. And this has been vibing with people because they're in that same thought process and market as me. Like, I'm just trying to grow this, baby. And I'm just trying to help you grow that in the process as well. Here's a key contrast. Your audience are the people that watches you the most, okay? Your community, those are the people that grow with you. So we don't just care about audience. We're trying to build a community here. You know where money lives? Money lives in the community. That's factual. So let me give you some actual, steps to take away from here, and I'm gonna leave you to it. I want you to write one proof this week. Do it today. How you're progressing. Send one uncomfortable message. It doesn't have to be pretty. It can be ugly. I want you to publish something before you completely edit it, It doesn't have to be perfect because I want you to break the habit of thinking I'm perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Publish it before you're even ready for it. Okay. And then the other thing I want you to do is track actions, not your outcomes. I want you to track what are you doing, not necessarily the feedback you get on what you're doing. Okay. So that's going to be so important. Confidence isn't a feeling. Confidence is evidence memory. You build confidence by stacking promises to yourself, not anybody else, but to yourself. And I'm going to close with this. Your business, it doesn't grow to the level of your effort. It grows to the level of your belief that you're allowed to have in yourself. Listen, with that being said, we're at time. I'm known as That Healthcare Guy, aka Patrick Hart. Connect with me, follow your boy, use the links that I have on the screen, or go to the link in the bio. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up for the newsletter yesterday, not today. And then we're growing this thing to $1 million in revenue, right? So I'm asking for your support. What does that mean? Each and every day we do a live at noon Central Standard Time. Invite them to this. If you know somebody just like you, like-minded hustler who's looking to get it in life, who's tired of, the everyday struggle, who wants something better out of life, hey, follow your boy, because I'm going to give you the tools, tricks, and insights to help you elevate, get to the next level of your career success. Hey, family, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate the continued love. Same time tomorrow. See you then. Let's keep getting it. Let's keep hustling. Talk to you soon.